Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. Jacalyn. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. Jacalyn at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello and welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is USA Global TV and radio. I'm Dr. Jacalyn KERBECK. I'm the president, founder, and chief listening officer here at our network. Our show today is The Wise Ones. And joining me, of course, is my friend, my co-host. He's also my book coach, my mentor. He is a wonderful person. His name is red.olaughlin. Let's welcome him to the show. Hi, Red.
Hi, Dr. Jacalyn. Good to see you again. Looking forward to seeing you again the next hour, too. A double dipper today.
I always love Thursdays, Red. It's a lot of fun. And you and I continue to meet on our every other Tuesday on the book collaboration. It's really exciting. You've helped me grow in so many ways when it comes to creative spirit and even as an entrepreneur. So I thank you for that.
And you have two number one best-selling books on Amazon, and you have your third one written, and your fourth one is in progress. You're just a dynamo of being an author. You can't shut you down. I'm sorry to say that, but just some things happen. I mean, it's just, let's be honest. You're just cranking them out as fast as you can.
Well, some people might want to shut me up. So I don't know about that, but it's a TV show, so I have to talk at some point. But I want to spotlight you before we bring out our fabulous guest, Captain Joe. And Red, you do so much. You are not only what you do on this platform, you are a co-host, you're one of our expert presenters on Talking Heads. Your show's coming up right after this. You're an elevated listener, and you'll soon be hosting your own panel show. It's happening. It's going to happen, Red. So there it is. But you are a published author. You've won your own awards. You're a number one bestseller, and you are a researcher on longevity as well as many other things. So tell our audience all about the value that you're bringing to the world.
Long before I met my wife of 54 years, my first love was chemistry. Unfortunately, I didn't have a chance to practice it, even though I got a degree in it because I got an invitation to Vietnam. By the time I came back, all likelihood of me becoming a chemist was too far in the past. My wife came down with breast cancer many years ago. I did some research and I found out that, whoa, I really love researching the chemicals in the human body at the cellular level. What's happening? What causes this to happen? What stops that from happening? What slows this down? What speeds that up? And I was able to control a lot of the side effects she was having from her drugs and things. And that became a new life for me for all practical purposes. I had been at that point in time writing books, speaking around the country on motivation, self-improvement. But when I get back into my chemistry, my comfort zone, I have just gone crazy. And I found that I really love the area of aging. I'll be 76 in just another week or so. And I find that there are so many things you can do that disrupt the aging process and you never know about it. I'll be talking later today about what stops fat from burning. I've been having 5 sessions already. Today will be the 5th session. I talked about what is fat, what causes fat to go into a fat cell, what causes fat to come out of a fat cell, what causes fat to burn. And today we'll talk about what stops fat from burning. Well, there's 2 or 3 things we know that stop it from burning, and it just flat stops. But there's so many things, another 30 things out there that slows down our metabolism we don't even think about. And so part of the program that I put out first is awareness. And then as you become aware of things, it's educational. You can increase that awareness. And then you have action items that you can take. But again, I recommend, I'm not a doctor, never have been, worked in a pharmaceutical company. I'm a researcher. And so I give you information, take it to your doctor. If it makes sense with the protocols you're on, great. If not, well, then at least you had something to talk about and see what you can do. But anyway, my show is called Talking Heads. It'll be on next on the USA Global TV and Radio Network. And I'm about ready to, I think if Dr. Jacalyn's ready, I'm going to introduce Captain Joe Ageless.
Yes, please do.
Captain Joe is a good friend of mine. I've known him for a few years. We connected through some different networking events just before COVID hit. He comes in wearing his pilot's uniform, hat, everything. And it turns out that ironically, he also lives in an airplane. He has another airplane on top of that one, not literally on top, but next to it. And so not only does he walk the walk and speak the talk, but he is a avid aviator, so much so that he bought his own airplanes to live in. But he also has a lot to give back to society, particularly for the entrepreneur. And I thought he'd be a fantastic guest today. So, Captain Joe, please, front and center.
Come on out, Captain Joe. Welcome.
Excellent. Attention, ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Fasten your seatbelts and put your trays in the upright position as we prepare your dreams to take off. I'm Joe, your captain for today. Give me a thumbs up if you would like your dreams to turn into reality. Absolutely. Welcome aboard.
Yes, we're thumbs up over here, Captain Joe.
Excellent. I prepared a little presentation for you to have a little bit of structure, and then we can talk about any details that you might have. I'd love to answer any questions that you might have. So if I can share my screen, we'll get started.
Please do.
Excellent, excellent. What we should be seeing here as soon as it comes up is what we call dreams to reality. I'm not quite there, getting close, getting very close. All right.
Your eyes are getting heavy.
Excellent.
There you go.
Everybody here should see dreams to reality. Captain Joe. Does everybody see that?
Yes.
Excellent, excellent. So let's get started. What is the definition of a dream? Well, it's something that we aspire to. It's an ambition. It's an ideal. It's not the nightmare that we had last night. No, that's not the deal. So what does it cost to dream? Well, it's absolutely free. And as children, we used to have lots of dreams because we could have as many as we wanted, and they're free. So that's how all this gets started. And my dream got started as back in 1973, 1974. There was a show that came on with Bill Bixby. Bill Bixby was a fantastic philanthropist and magician. And in this particular show, he would use his magical skills to solve the crime. Then at the end of the show, he would drive his Corvette into the back of his Boeing and fly to the next city to help the police solve the next difficult crime. It was great. All of us know of him as the Incredible Hulk, and some of us older folks know him as Eddie's, the courtship of Eddie's father, and My Favorite Martian, things like that. But that's when my dream came to a reality in terms of understanding what I want to do and how I'm going to do it. Not sure, but I knew the why. So I went to my dad and I said, "Hey, Dad, I need to learn how to fly." And he said, "Okay, well, let's build a man-powered airplane." So at the age of 14, we started working on it. And I just got out of the swimming pool having a great day. He said, "Let's get some parts lined up. The measurement's good." And as we started it, of course, it never did work, but it was an absolutely trip to have fun and enjoy being with my dad to build this application. So next piece I had to go is to get a second-class student pilot certificate so I could start to learn to fly. Got that at the age of 16. And of course, I couldn't wait to get flying, so I immediately started flying, actually a few days before I got that. And I flew all the time because I enjoyed it. And matter of fact, it takes only 40 hours to get your license. But I had almost 100 by the time I got it. The reason is I had to be 18. So in order to get your license to fly, I had to be 18, and I finally did get it. And that was really great. A few years later, I got my instrument license. So now I have lots of flying time, and now I could fly without seeing the ground from point A to point B, and it was absolutely fantastic and lots of fun. So I got married and had a couple of kids and all that kind of stuff, and as we do, we start to gain some weight and enjoy life as we did. And so I resurrected the Sky Cycle, and you can see it here, me riding in one of the events. I did many events and thousands of miles, and it's actually considered a prone bike. But when you throw in the when you throw in the wings, it would fly, but of course it never did actually get off the ground. But I did have some friends that would fly and or ride with me, and they rode the recumbents, which are the kind that you sit down, but mine was considered a prone bike. So it was a lot of fun and all that kind of stuff. So as the life goes on, in 2011, about April Fool's Day, I got divorced, and well, I started my Project Freedom. And the first thing that I had to do was to buy a piece of property. So I found one at an airport called Sport Flowers, which is where I'm sitting at. And it's the top right-hand corner there, basically 2 acres. And I have 40 neighbors on each side of the runway. And it's kind of like a golfing course where you putt-putt to the next hole. Well, we putt-putt through the air. So I know I needed a house to live in, and I knew I wanted to get an airplane. So what better place to get an airplane than at the mall? So I picked up my airplane where I buy my socks and shoes there in Sawgrass Mills, Florida. This airplane was in a mall called Wanadu City, and there was lots of kids to come in to look at it. So they had a place to be a fireman, to learn how to be a policeman, a doctor, all kinds of different types of things to grow up and be. And this one here was to be a pilot. So they had the airplane in there, and the whole airplane cockpit was completely renovated, and it is absolutely beautiful from 1979. And so I bought that, and only problem was it took almost a year to get it. So I got tired of waiting because my dream needed to continue. And so I bought another airplane that I got from Arkansas. Now this airplane I bought in Arkansas, here's a Google view from up above in the top right. And then the left side there is showing its last flight, which is where it went to be put on its structure, which is where it's at now. And there was one picture taken to the bottom right showing what was left over, because I only needed the first 60 feet. Everything else was designed accordingly. But it's really great. It came in December of that year. And then finally, the other airplane that I bought at the mall, it came in just in January or so. So absolutely fun things to do and all that kind of stuff. So throughout the years, a lot of folks have come and done a lot of presentations, or I've done presentations for them, and I've done many TV shows, many magazines and newspapers, and all those kind of things. And that's a lot of fun. And I'll put some links in there that you can look at a little bit later. So let me continue on. I'm going to skip this particular video, and now we're going to get down to how you can get started right now with your dream. That's the whole point. How do you do it? Well, the first thing that you do is you grab yourself a sheet of paper, and I always say a crayon. Write down your dream. Absolutely. Write it down as much detail as you can and give it a name. Put today's date and sign it. Now that you've done that, what you've done is you've given yourself a birth certificate for your dream. And now you can do something every day towards your dream. We sometimes call those a goal. So do the goal, which will get you towards your dream. Make the dreams big. When you get done, you're like, yes. But as you do each of the daily goals towards your dream, those will keep you going and happy. So if you're ever in Houston, make it one of your goals. Just stop by, and I'll give you a tour of the place. I've got a boarding pass waiting to put your name on it. And so one of the things that as we go through life, and I did give a lot of tours, and I do Airbnb tours, which is an experience, not an overnight stay like a lot of are, but I gave an experience. And the folks that came in, they absolutely loved it. I put them through the ringers. We'd be taking off and landing and all the things that you would do. And by the time they got down, they're sweating. They're like crazy. This is amazing. And I got one review. And this was in July of 2019. And from the public view, the client wrote a 4-star review, which was unique and very fun tour. Now, the private feedback came back as, hey, Joe, the experience was awesome. One suggestion is that I would tell the guest beforehand what to expect and what to see. It may be in the description when booking, but hearing upon arrival would be helpful. Yeah, that's cool. But one of the things that I would do is I would set them in the cockpit, and I'd give them a plastic gun that my child Wesley used to play with when he was a kid, and it looks like a real gun. And we take a photo. And of course, I always told him, Don't post it on Facebook or any social media. It's just for you to have for fun, because you can't take guns or toothpaste on airplanes today. So it gave them a chance to have a really unique um, picture that they don't ever get. And so that really, 2019 made me think, and how can I help businesses to get reputation and reviews? And so we'll talk about that later if we have time. But let's get back to Red and Jacalyn and see what's going on. And so I'm going to stop my share for the moment.
Wasn't that truly amazing, Dr. Jacalyn?
I'm speechless about that. That's incredible. And you have 2 planes and you went to the mall. That's
Yes, going to the mall is good. Yes.
incredible. So I have so many questions. Let me just think about where to start. So what was it about living in the plane that you were so passionate about? You just couldn't get enough of
Oh,
it?
it was so cool. When you look back at the videos from The Magician, one of the things that I also loved was playing chess. And so they actually had a chessboard on the airplane, and it was so comfortable and looking great. And it's like, man, that is so cool. And of course, at that age, I was thinking, well, I'll just fly the next city. But of course, it's not that easy, and it's very expensive. It costs thousands of dollars just to start the engine. So I don't have any engines or any of that stuff. But that's not the problem, and there's no issue at all. So just the feeling of being able to do the things and be able to put that into such a unique setting is really quite awesome. And of course, my oldest brother, he lived, he bought some ground, built an underground house up in Ageless, which is northwest of Fort Worth. And back when I was 18, I helped him actually build some of that underground house. He has since moved out and sold it. But my other brother has a dome home, and he's got 6 domes. That's in a location called Godley, Texas, and it's absolutely amazing. And so we have uniqueness in that my parents always encourage us to think outside the box, literally, and they always encourage us to do things and not to be exactly like them. However, my dad was an aircraft mechanic, an A&I at the back years ago, and then became an A&E and an A&P and all that stuff. But he also flew for Trans World Airlines, known as Teeny Weeny Airlines, he called it, as well as the first flights across the ocean with Pan American. So these were some really great things, and I've got all of his logbooks and things like that. So very fun.
That is fun. Now, I really would like the tour. I really like to see how you're living, and you actually invite people to come into your home like you just did with the boarding pass.
Oh yeah, yeah. I have at least 1 or 2 people almost every day that stop in, and I give a tour to. I could do a tour. Only thing that may not work is the audio, but that's okay. You can figure out there's a bathroom and there's the. But I will say that I do grow tilapia. That's a little fish that swarms around. I'll show you that real quickly. So when you're looking at that, you can go, okay, that's different. I'll show you some avocado trees I'm growing, and I'll show you some hydroponics. I won't get into the microgreens, but I'll show you the other things, and you can kind of figure it out. So when we come back from the tour, we'll be able to see or ask any questions that you might have. So let me grab my camera, and let's take off. So the first thing that I'm going to say, while I do have a little bit of audio, is that I put in the ceiling out of foam. And that way I don't have any noise, and it keeps it nice and cool in here. So I got air conditioning, which works really great. So let's take a tour and let's have some fun. All right. Here's the couch, TV, kitchen, a microwave, and I'll yell. You can't hear me, but there's the microwave. There I am. And a refrigerator, freezer on the bottom. And then as we pan over, this is the kids' bedroom. Of course, they're gone, grown up. Okay, I'm back in the area, so I'll take a quick peek outside, and so you can see a little bit of hydroponics, and maybe we can play a game of chess. If I left anything out, you'll just have to stop in and hang out with me.
Super impressive, Captain Joe. I can't believe how much space there is. Everything's so neat and organized. I love it.
It is. Now, we could go to the other airplane, but I'm not sure what our timing is. And I could show you the cockpit, or you could just stop by and I'll put you in the cockpit. We'll take a picture with you. So it's up to you. No problem at all.
I'd like to see it. It's up to Red. We have about 20 minutes. Do we have time for that in 20?
Yes, I think we would. We won't spend a lot of time in there because it is hot, but I'll walk you through it.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we do the commercial break, a couple 3 minutes, and then when we come back, if he's set up ready to roll, then we've taken that a little amount of time it takes to walk over there, and if he doesn't mind the heat too much, we'll just conclude from there, or he'll walk back and we'll pretend like we know what we're doing.
There you go. Yeah, we'll.
I like it.
Yeah, so I'll be over there. I won't know everything, so I'll wait just a little bit to see what the timing looks like. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Because I can't see you. You're on the computer, and all I got is the phone. It just sees me, and I can't tell where I'm at. So.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah,
we'll run a quick ad, and then we'll be right back. We're going to hear from the lovely Diane Floyd-Bain, and then we're back with Red and Captain Joe.
Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to Story Garden. Your host, Diane Bain. I'm so happy to have you here today.
Diane Floyd-Bain tells wonderful stories that warm the heart, spark the imagination, and unite people and families across generations. For children, Diane's Harry the Camel connects with all of us who've ever wondered how different our lives might have been if only we'd been born something better, like a wonderful horse instead of an ordinary camel. In the end, we all learn along with Harry that there's nothing better than just being yourself. Diane's Little Girl in the Moon looks down on earthbound children and wonders if they know she's just like them. A story of love, home, and the bond between mother and daughter, its powerful theme that we're each of us different yet all of us the same plants a seed in children that promises to blossom within a loving and trusting grown-up. Diane's new biography, Rise, recounts the experiences of her grandmother, Ruby, to reveal the hidden strength of the human spirit. Ruby's story inspires all of us to become the best versions of ourselves. You'll find all of Diane's delightful books and much more at dianefloydbain.com. Visit dianefloydboehm.com. That's dianefloydbain.com.
So, Captain Joe, you have a car.
Yes, he does.
Okay, thanks.
Well, we can see but not hear.
Tell us what we're looking at, Red.
A cockpit. Left-hand side is where the pilot sits. The right-hand side is the co-pilot. There in the center, just a lower left-hand side right now are the throttle controls. He's trying to tell you that's where they steer the wheel at, I believe. And at the bottom there, you can see where you put your feet. That controls parts of the aircraft there in the back, your tail, the rudder, with the other controls on the to the left of where he's at right now. Right there, the handle, the grips, like a bicycle grip. That's what the pilots use. They pull back to go up, push forward to go down. And you turn it left or right, which makes the ailerons on the wings go and makes the surface such that it almost automatically goes in the direction you want to go. The temperature gauges, fuel gauges, pressure gauges, all sorts of things there. Radio, radar. That thing right below the circular thing is an air gas burst for your air conditioning. That's your radio.
A lot of instruments.
Well, you got 4 engines, and each one of them has its own set of controls. So if you're doing whatever, is that 4 or 2? Looks like only 2. 2 engines on that particular one, it looks like. We'll double check with him when he comes back. The engines of the planes that I've been in been pretty much all 4 engine. Okay, that indicator there tells you how fast you're going up or down. And then you see the little switch to the right, looks like an orange thing. Some switches have covers on them to prevent inadvertent activation, that if you're going to activate a switch, then you have to move the cover out of the way in order to activate it. One possible deal could be a fire extinguisher. You don't want to just accidentally push one. In our aircraft, we have the weapons systems all guarded by those particular ones. But there are certain things you don't want to accidentally bump into, especially if you're flying and things are really bumpy. You want to be able to move the switch out of the way and then actually put your finger behind the switch and move it. A lot of the controls there are set up so that when you have gloves on, the size and texture, the shape indicates the kind of control it is. It's called ergonomics. And so then when you're controlling things, sometimes you may not actually see what you're doing, but you can reach over, you sort of know where it's at, and you can just grab a hold of it, and without having to take your eyes off of what's going on in front of you.
Okay, shoot, I'm back.
Yeah, we can't actually see you, Captain Joe. We can hear you though.
Oh, you can hear me? That's good. Well, that's the real drag about. Sorry about that. That's why you got to come in person. And
now, Captain Joe, how are you using that second plane? Is that strictly to give tours and show people, or do you have some other use for it?
Yeah, pretty much that's what it's for. But it will eventually be the private residence, which will have the theater, arts and crafts, music room, and all that kind of stuff. And so it'll be really, it'll be my private residence. So I'll have a bathroom in it, as well as the bedroom and a 20 by 10 closet, which is really important.
That's pretty impressive in just since 2019 to get the airplanes there, get them, locked into the ground, and then literally turn it into a living quarters and make it functional for your business and everything else. I'm super impressed.
Yeah. Okay.
And
well,
I love that chessboard. Do you play chess, Red?
I do.
Yeah, I do too. I have a chessboard, but no one to play with. I play against myself, and one of us always loses. I don't know what the story is, but one of us wins as well. So.
Yeah. When I do bring in the other airplane, or bring in the other parts to it. It'll have the full wings and everything.
Oh, wow.
And so let me see if I can get my camera back up here. Oh, come on. Give me a break.
Okay, so you're saying the dream is partially completed.
Yes, I'm living in it. Living in it. Yay.
You're living the
You're
dream,
back.
but there's more dream to come.
Yes, there is more to come. I've got so many things to do. I've got a control tower to build that will go between the two airplanes, and then I also have to have a hangar for the airplanes that actually fly, and of course, this is amazing.
And how many airplanes do you have that actually fly?
I don't have any yet, but I will have at least one, maybe two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Captain Joe, are you looking to make this into a tourist attraction where people can you'll be a destination people can come and visit?
I've considered making this an Airbnb as well, overnight stay as well, but mainly it's just for fun. And so really, I just enjoy having people come over and hang out and get to see something that's not, bad. It's something fun. It's different. So,
Joe, you were moving the camera around pretty rapidly. Can you confirm whether the airplane cockpit that we looked at had 2 engines or 4 engines?
We have 2 engines in that cockpit. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's I can't see what I'm videotaping. And
well, I was giving a running commentary as you were doing things, but sometimes you jumped here, there, and yonder, and it looked like the aileron control and the flight controls were right next to each other. Initially, I thought it was like 4 engines, and then when you stopped long enough for me to look at it and recognize what it was, I said, yeah, it's probably really only 2 engines. And then I didn't get a chance to concentrate on the gauges clear enough to see whether it was 1 or 2 engines you were doing. But regardless, it was still super impressive.
Yeah, it's really this is my dream, and my kids didn't care for it. I mean, they're here. They're like, okay. And the purpose of today's is not really to see me. The purpose of today is for you to understand that you can create your own dreams to reality. It's just a simple process, like anything else that you would do. So don't worry about seeing this specific thing. It's not important to you. What's important to you is your dream. Okay, that's what you've got to understand about this. So I mean, it'd be great if my camera worked really well and all that stuff, but it's not the you're the person that has the dream. And if you don't have one, get one and start thinking about that and write it down, like I say. So yeah,
Captain Joe, one of the things that you are known for here in the Houston area is reputation management. We have a few minutes left, and I know that you want to at least let people know what you do and how they can improve their business, particularly from an entrepreneurial perspective. But could you spend a minute or two and just kind of let us know, what is reputation management and why is it important to a business owner and what they can do, what real controls they have themselves over their own reputation?
Yeah, absolutely. As a business owner, you can do anything that you have time, and if you don't know how, you can learn. No problem. And that's with anything. And that includes reputation management. So what does that mean? It means that we're trying to improve the way that we look onto Google and Facebook and Yelp. In other words, if you ever gone to a restaurant, you look and say, oh, I wonder what their reviews look like. And you read them. And you go, okay, that sounds good. Now, I actually go to a restaurant that's not rated 5-star. But I've been there long enough. I've been there enough times and understand, and that's okay. But that can have a detriment to the business owners that don't have a following. So as you're trying to get started, so what do you got to do? You got to have a Google business account. Everybody says that. You got to have a Facebook account. You got to have all of those things set up. Then what you have to do is you have to ask your clients to write a review. Now, you can do that very easily. And the way you can do it very easily is just ask them, hey, write a review. And say, hey, go to our Google account or our Facebook account. Now, the only risk of you doing that is that they may not be happy. And now you've motivated them to go write a review that would be bad. And that's not good, because then you got to have 50 5-star reviews to offset the one bad review. So that's where my service comes in, because we can predict whether the client will write a good review or a bad review before we even ask them. So that's pretty unique, and that reduces the threat of getting a bad review. So the first thing that I would do is I would create a link or get a link. Google provides that link, and at least ask the ones that you fairly think are happy. Now, I don't really like that from a business standpoint, because if you get bad reviews, you really want to be able to turn that bad review, which would be offline if it was through my service, so that you can fix it. And an example of, I had an architect. He did great job. He did a great job with the 3-dimensional walkthroughs and all that stuff, but he had really he didn't include the client with good communication skills. He didn't tell him what was going to happen next, when to do this, when to do that. And so it was really left bad. But that's okay, because now he got the bad review, which made him understand what this is all about, because that's what it takes sometimes. And he was able to get with the client, say, yes, I see the problem. We're going to fix the problem. We're going to include you more often and include you and all that. And so he ended up getting a $15,000 job later that year. Now, that client's been with me for over 3 years. And back in January, when he had a switch over in his credit card, he called me up and says, Joe, don't cancel my service. I need it. I love it. And he gave me his new credit card to pay for it, because it's so important to get those. And you really don't have a true process in place that can guarantee you 99% of 5-star reviews. So it's all right, though. But at least try to get reviews. Everybody knows the first 10 reviews you get on your Google business is your friends and family, and that's good that you have a few that can write. So if you would like to know what your business review looks like and your particular reputation looks like, there is a link that from my givemeathumbsup.com that says free reputation report. You could click on that, and it would need your company name. You could throw in your email and your phone number, and it will return to you a report that would give you where you stand, how many reviews you got, because you may have reviews that you don't even know exist. And that could be a real problem, because nobody's going to call you up and say, yeah, Red, we read your reviews. They weren't too good, so we're going to call up and tell you and let you know that. They're not going to do that. They're also not going to call you up and say, hey, we read all your 5-star reviews, and we think they're great, and we're going to buy from you. They're not going to do that. That's not the way that it really works. So it's kind of behind the scenes. But as a business owner, getting a good review really is pretty nice. And getting a bad review that comes to you is pretty healthy to your business. It really can't help you out. And as I look here and I reset my phone to make it work, and it doesn't work, and it's like, you know what? Some days are just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Well, we're almost at the end of the show. So is there anything coming up that you want to highlight with regard to Captain Joe and the world of entrepreneurship that you want to share with us?
For me, basically just, write your dream down, get it started today. And when you come over, we'll talk about it. And you can always refine your goal and your dream. It's not a problem. And you can have as many as you want. So I appreciate you taking the time to ask me to come on board. I'm sorry that my video camera is not very good today, and I have no idea why, because I've done 80 to 90 networking events every month with zero problem. But of course, today it's a special day, and sorry about that, Red and Jacalyn. But again, it's not about me anyway. It's about you.
And we had good audio for most of it, except when you were giving us your tour. And so
Yeah.
from the value to the audience, I think you delivered. Don't you agree, Dr. Jacalyn?
Absolutely. I thought it was a fascinating interview. I'm still thinking about those fish that I mean, it's amazing everything you've created there, what you're growing. And I've never seen anything like it. So congratulations. And I'm actually going to go right now after the show to givemeathumbsup.com and provide my information. And Captain Joe, we do have a global audience. So is that free reputation report only for US business
Uh,
owners?
Currently, it's only for businesses that have a location.
Hmm.
Okay, so there's a lot of service businesses out there that don't have a location. But the idea of when I wrote this was that I would be able to show you where you stand and your four closest competitors. Okay, so if you want to see what your business is like and it's a service, no problem. Just book a flight and I'll pull the special report. It'll be just for you specifically versus the other one, which is to try and compare. Because that's what I want to do. I want you to see that, hey, your competitors are doing this. How are you comparing? And so that's why it's only for location, because I can't do a service because you may service around the world. But we do provide multi-languages across. I have clients in Venezuela. I have clients in Australia and Canada, of course, across the United States. And we have all the multiple languages. So it's pretty cool. Absolutely. So we can send out the request through emails in their language as well.
So
Fantastic.
give me a thumbs up.com is the best way for people to reach you.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And just in the short time that we have left here, Red, I'm just going to bring up the website and share it. Let me take this down. Share my screen. There you go. So this is the website, givemeathumbsup.com. So if you actually have a brick and mortar business, you can go right here and get your free reputation report. And you can also book your flight with Captain Joe.
Absolutely. I don't go into a lot of salesy stuff on this. I basically say, look, you know what reviews are. I don't need to go sell you all these 15 different reasons why you got to get it. What you got to have is somebody that will help you with the process, get you started. And if you like the service, I don't charge I don't have a contract for a length of time. Okay. I know that you need your reputation for many years. So generally you'll stay with me if the service is of value for you. If not, we just turn it off at the end of the month. No contracts, no worry. I do charge a little bit of time and money for the first initial setup, but I include the first month. That way you could see how it works. You're getting trained on it. You're going to know stuff that you never even had a clue you even needed to know about reviews versus testimonials. So no problem at all with that. Yeah. So I keep it very straightforward and simple. You betcha.
Thank you very much. Please do reach out to Captain Joe, your captain of online reviews. Get your free reputation report at givemeathumbsup.com. Thank you, Captain Joe. We look forward to having you back again. And I really appreciate the tour and insights you shared today.
And there's some other shows on USA Global TV and Radio Network that Joe might, from a business owner perspective, might be interested in sharing some of his value.
I'd love for him to come on the business show and meet Mr. Alcini.
That's the one I was thinking about. Cap Joe, thank you so very much. I really appreciate your time today.
Hey, you bet. Look forward to meeting with you again. Always enjoy talking to you, Red, and I enjoy reading your book. And I'm learning about fasting and autophagy and ketones and all that stuff. It's amazing. I appreciate your effort. And we'll see you guys anytime. You're welcome to come here, and we'll show you around.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Captain Joe. Over and out.
All right.
Bye.
Cleared for landing.
Red, we've got to get over to the other studio for Talking Heads. How can people reach out to you?
The easiest way for people to reach me is red.olaughlin.com. That's red like the color, R-E-D, O'Laughlin, OLAUGHLIN.com, red.olaughlin.com, REDOLAUGHLIN.com. All my contact information's there. I'm a writer, an author, a speaker, and a book publisher. More than happy to chat with you and see if there's anything there that might connect. And if you join me here in just a few minutes, literally a few minutes, on Talking Heads, I'll be talking about what causes fat to stop burning. When we manage fat in our body, we want it to burn. We want to lose inches. We want to lose weight. There's certain things that stop our metabolism dead in its tracks. There's other things that slow it down, and most of us are unaware of these things. So join me here literally in a few minutes. Let's see, it's 2 o'clock Central, so 3 o'clock Eastern, and listen to What Causes Fat to Stop Burning on Talking Heads on the USA Global TV and Radio Network.
Thank you so much, Red. I really appreciate it. I'll see you over in the other studio momentarily. Bye for now.
Yeah, bye now.
And for each and every one of you, I just want to let you know I will be doing a book review on Friday on Dr. Jacalyn's book club on Dementia Home Care, How to Prepare Before, During, and After by Tracy Cram Perkins. That is on Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. British Summer Time, 6 p.m. Central European Time. Thank you. And off we go, over and out, over to Talking Heads. Thank you so much, Captain Joe. It was a real pleasure to meet you. And thanks to each and every one of you. Bye for now.